Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for round two at Saudi Arabia for Tier 2 of Inters Racing League. Scotty here with you again on your Saturday afternoons, and I'm joined by the winner of the Tier 3 race last night, Powers. You still feeling the high of last night?
Oh, of course, mate. Been feeling the high since 9:30 last night.
Yeah, I'd figure so. That you'd be fairly happy. I had a look at the results last night. 8/10, so I think you're probably in the wrong tier. Having a quick look at that, but great effort from you. And I was just having a chat to you off just before we started. Only one safety car, which surprised me around Saudi. Obviously, Walls are very, very close, fastest street track, as they like to call it. Just sort of one of those tracks, 27 corners, even though half of them are probably flat out. How do you find racing around here last night?
Oh, it's definitely a challenge. Like Saudi has always been a challenge, but getting through those corners without touching a wall is difficult. But with tyre-wise, the tyres felt good from the get-go, and then those hards as well felt good once I put them on after the pit. So probably see a medium hard strategy here tonight from most of the drivers.
Yeah, exactly right. As I just try and find someone, Elaine Santa's just about to come through. So, Powers, would you like to take us through the 6.174 kilometre track, jetted Cornish circuit, 27 corners, and as Elaine Santa comes around the final corner, I'll leave you to it.
So as he comes down now to start his lap, coming into turn one now, you're probably looking to get out third gear. Get down into third, straight down into second there as he comes out of turn two. Coming down the next straight of turn number three, getting down into fourth gear. Probably could have been a bit more methodical through there, but up into sixth. Just getting off the throttle just bit by bit as he comes through these S's here as he now comes off, now heading down towards the end of sector one. As he puts on second line, it's 32.7 on the board there through sector one there for Allen. Comes up around the left-hander now into the chicane of, I'm not good with numbers. Out of the chicane nicely there. It was a good cornering there through there from Allen. So he's now coming down the long, fast bend. As he's coming up towards 22 and 23, he's got it a minute 0.9 there through sector 2 as he comes now out of 24, heading through 25, the rear wing open now as he heads down the back straight. So now heading down towards turn number 27, the final turn here at Saudi Arabia as he comes out in third gear. Sharp in a fourth, Tetris does a 30.2, the rear wing's open of that AlphaTauri. And he crosses the line. It's going to be a 28.2 there for Alan Sanders as he goes to the top provisionally as it stands.
Yeah, that was a great lap time from Elaine Sanders. Gordo goes a 27.5, if you don't mind. So, great banker laps by a few of these guys. As I'm just having a quick look at your pole time from last night, 27.3.
27.3.
Yeah, so Gordo and Battle Cat. But in saying that, you were 8/10 clear, so already got a few guys. Gordo, the Battle Cat, only a 10th off Parallel Aussie as well. Third man into the 27s. As we
I was the only person in the 27s last night.
Yeah,
which was quite interesting when I saw that.
Oh,
Mercy 27.5 as well.
Yeah, so good times coming up for a few of these boys, especially some that didn't exactly have a great opening outing at Bahrain. Unfortunately, Mercy, as we sort of see, lost him very, very early, losing it out of turn 10 at Bahrain. So fingers crossed he can go a little bit better than what he did last time. As Marty
Mercy's been telling me since last night that he can't get anywhere near my lap time. He goes and puts a 27.5 on the board as his banker.
Yeah, exactly right. So as we watch Kai, obviously he struggled last week, but more time with the wheel. Had some good laps just before in time trial, so he's just got to get used to the track, find his rhythm. as he activates the DRS. So 3 DRS zones on this track, down the start-finish straight, down this particular curve straight before the last corner, and then out of the middle chicane of 14 and 15 as he just misses the wall. We might have just clipped it. It was very, very close either way as Kaio will come to the line. And 13th, 29-2. He's got a banker on the board and he can definitely improve on that, because we will have 3 runs that most of these guys will do. As Shadows is coming around.
Just started a lap time here as he comes out of turn 2.
Yeah, he looked really good last week in Bahrain too. Had a collision unfortunately, which dropped him down, but he looked really good as the reserve. So a few of the boys possibly looking at after we get to trade week, after round 3, if any of the drivers aren't performing, they can definitely see Shadow as definitely one to be able to replace, as Blue Dog is making his way towards the last chicane of 22 and 23. So, good thing that we haven't actually seen any guys retire as of yet in quali. It only takes that one slight error to just go a little bit overboard and find yourself into the wall and out of the session. So
Shadow's just gone purple for a second too. Sorry to interrupt you there, Scotty.
Yeah, Blue Dog up into P12 as we do go down to Shadow, who is on the straight coming down to the last corner. Nice line through there, hugging the inside apex. And the final run, DRS to the line. 28.6, so not a bad lap from Shadow. Again,
put yourself into a Ferrari sandwich.
Yeah, exactly right. Haras as well. Been around the game a long time, as he's unfortunately invalidated out of turn 6 or 7. So unfortunately he's going to have to back off. So hopefully he's got enough fuel that he'll be able to go again. So Mercy and Gordo leading the way in the opening half of the session, as the guys are in the pits just changing to another set of soft compounds. Just quickly going over the results from last week. Izzo Skits, as we know, picked up the first victory of Tier 2 in the AlphaTauri, just ahead of Marty B, which is a fantastic P2 in the end. And then Greedo found himself onto the podium in P3. Battlecat just missing out. Greedo obviously on those soft tyres at the end, but very happy for the Battlecat to just be up in touch, but unfortunately just losing it. Elaine Santa, Nato Bien, Medi, Paralozzi, Gordo and Broseph, they were your top 10. And as I said, Mercy, Blue Dog and Cool Boy were your 3 DNFs. So Cool Boy not racing with us tonight. As we just have a look to see if any of these other guys are on a lap. Shadow's just coming into the pits for us. He's just starting his next lap, so we'll follow the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, Skits taking out last week's win. He's not with us this week either, so we'll probably most likely see ourselves as the new Tier 2 championship leader by the end of this race.
Yeah, exactly right. So he obviously, first one round down, he obviously takes the net championship lead, as just a Alfa Romeo, so getting out of the way of Haras, who's at the hairpin of 13.
Cool.
So, how in terms of race strategy, I know we're still a little bit in qualifying. How do you find in the race through the stage? I know you were sort of out front, but how different did the car feel, especially on heavy fuel around here, when you know that you don't really have any room for error around here? Yeah,
it feels very different when you go from qualifying. You have like zero fuel in the car whatsoever, and then the car's just handling perfectly. It's going through corners as nice as you want them to. And then you go into the race and you fuel's just, you got all that fuel in the car as Haras hits a wall there. NATO's retired as well.
As Gordo just goes fastest on like 26.9, so obliterated the field to go first person into the 26s and 6 tenths quicker than Mercy. Mercy's currently up on his current lap as he rounds the hairpin. As we're watching the McLaren on their lap, reserves for tonight, Ads is in the Alpine, so the TP driving in Tier 2 tonight. Shadow, as we mentioned earlier, Tetris in Alfa Romeo, and Woofer for the Alfa Romeo as well. So unfortunately, neither
Mercy 210s up, purple to sector 2. Sorry to interrupt you there, Scotty.
No, you're right. So obviously, both Alfa Romeos unfortunately missing. But Mercy doing a great job currently in P2, up on his time. Does he have any more time through this last sector? Got close to the wall.
Good last turn there.
Yeah, carried the speed through there, so...
He's gonna fall short. Oh, he's only just put a 1/10 on the board there. He's
Yeah,
running a
so
27.4.
that's still half a second quicker, Gordo is, compared to the rest of the field. So Peril Aussie followed him behind. So both McLaren's in the top 6, which is good to see. Sam in P7 as well. He's right up there. Medi moved down to P10 because someone else moved up. Marty B. He's quick, Marty B, at the moment on this in these first couple of rounds. P5, 27.7. Showing good pace is the Ferrari.
Yeah, indeed. He looked quick last weekend. He's looking quick this weekend.
Yeah, exactly right. As I think Medi is not on his lap, I believe. He's not. He's slow. Yeah, he's around out of the field. That's why. Shadow. We'll look at Greedo. Obviously, he had to fly through the field towards the end of the last session on the soft tyres, and he just got it done and nearly had Marty in P2. So we'll see what pace he's got. Currently down in 15th, so he'd like to be a little bit higher than that. As he comes to the line and moves himself up into the top 7, that's a better time from the Aston Martin.
I reckon he's got faster though, Gritto. We saw him last week with the lap time put out in Bahrain. We know he's got the pace, so I reckon he can go quicker than that 27.8 he's just put on the board there.
Yeah. So I was just checking the Discord. But yeah, that was a good time from Garrido. Medi coming into the pits. Shadow, he must have made a mistake early on in his lap, so he's saved his battery. Woofer coming around the 22.3 chicane. But welcome to you, Buster, as well. Good to have you in here once again. Batman as well. That might help if we've got game sound. Hopefully that would be better. So, just one of the qualities of this game that it doesn't like to give you sound unless you pause it. So, hopefully that should be good. As I will try not to jinx you. Plan is not to. Haven't got a lap time on the board for you, so I'm assuming you're doing one last run at the end. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the session. Broseph currently on his lap. Down in P14. Broseph, I believe, where did he finish? Just inside the top 10. So both Ferraris getting a top 10. So good points for the constructors for them. As Broseph rounds 23 and coming on to the final straight before the final corner, DRS, as Mertz is in. So Mertz did have a qualifying ban, so he shouldn't be out on his lap, or shouldn't go out for a lap, I should say. As Broseph, can he get near his teammate? P11, not too bad. He's about half a second off. As Bompton goes into P2, 27.2, but still 3/10 short. Good lap from Bompton if you can stay on the front row, but no one's touching Gordo at the moment.
Gordo's just in a league of his own up that front there.
Yeah, Shadow's got no front wing, so he's obviously had a moment somewhere earlier on in the lap, so he's going to come in. 3 minutes left. I think he'll just have enough time to come in, get that front wing changed, new tyres, and then come back out. It's going to be tight, though, as Woofer stays 18th. Mertz is in. So hopefully Mertz doesn't go out on his lap. He has been told about his quali ban. As you can see, all the drivers or pretty much all the drivers in the pits at the moment. So we're about to see a lot of outlaps, as Sam will be the first one to do their final flying lap, as Garrido is done.
He's retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, in the pit lane. So Aston Martin 6th and 7th. That's a fairly decent spot for them. Good inside the top 10. It's just a matter of how many positions they could fall, especially with this driver on screen now. We know Sam's been quick. Didn't exactly have the race that he wanted last week with the drive-through under the safety car as he goes super wide.
Myrtle's coming out here, so this could get interesting.
Yeah, hopefully he just does an in and an out lap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fingers crossed he just comes for an in and out lap. As we got Blue Dog now as a lane that's on
retired on the track.
So
I'm going to stick on board with Myrtle as he's coming up to that now.
So
yeah, he's just off to the right there. That's an interesting spot to retire.
Unless
he's done it in the pit lane.
Yeah, unless he's hit the inside wall, so he's turning a little bit too early, and then his car's just gone straight across the track. I'm assuming that's what happened, because it's a weird spot to be out there. So I'm assuming he's just turned in a little bit too early and taken that front left off.
Yeah, so that's probably the only reasonable explanation how he's ended up over there.
Yeah, but I'll go back onto Blue Dog, because he's coming around to the last corner, turn 27.
Yeah, the Williams.
As he makes his way down to the finish line, he improves his time, but stays P15, unfortunately. Sam, he's going to start his final run. Less than a minute left to go in the session. Gordo leads Bompton, leads Mercier, leads the Battle Cat. And a lot of these guys are on their outlaps and just starting like the Battle Cat is. So it's going to be very quick to see the times come in. So it's just going to be a matter of who can get the time on the board, can ace every single corner and start our 25 laps of Jeddah on pole position. Gordo has that lead at the moment.
Sorry there, Scotty, but Sam's purple through sector 1, up by 2.5 tenths there through sector 1.
Yeah, it's Mercy, unfortunately, has left the session, so he won't be able to complete his lap, but hopefully he can get back into the session for the race. So Sam coming through the 14-15 chicane. Sorry, I should say 16-17 chicane. You get it right. There's too many corners on this bloody track that aren't even corners. As he comes through 22 and 23, and then the Kinker 24 DRS. As Bompton and Mercy, Marty, they've all hit the checkered flag. Kaya moved himself up into the top 10. Good lap from him. So Sam, final corner. It's just the run to the line now. He'll get a bit of DRS. Up on his time. How far up can he go? He goes into the top 6.
Well done there.
Yeah, Sam will be happy with that. Power Aussie, I don't think he'll improve. He was a 10th down. He does find 2 tenths and goes just behind his teammate. So McLaren lock out the second row at the moment. And I think we are done. Medi's going to be the last driver. He is slightly up on his time. Can he get close to the top 10? No, P12. And Ads puts it in P18. So if there were improvements, there weren't too many. So Gordo, I don't think he even has to bother finishing this lap. And I don't think he has. He's slowed down. He'll cross
33.
Yeah, 33. But Gordo, he takes pole position. Fantastic lap. Only person into the 26s. Bompton will line up onto the second place. And both McLarens, I should say. Yeah, great job from them. Hopefully Mercy can get back into the session. But both McLarens, PRL Aussie, putting it right up there in P4. Battle Cat, good to see Battle Cat up there in P5. Marty, good form from him, P6. Sam, P7. Nato and Garrido, the Aston Martins, 8 and 9. And Tetris, good job from the Tier 3 reserve, putting his Alfa Romeo into the top 10.
Can I just add something here, Scotty?
Yep.
Powers P3.
Yes, just to say that, Powers, you would have gone P3 in this particular field, which also another question of maybe not a tier 3 driver. As we have a look, Mertz obviously didn't set a lap time, so he's good to go on that front. So we'll see how far he can get up the grid. But yeah, you definitely had a good pace. But again, its pace was one thing, but race situation, you just got to think about it a little bit differently. No point going 100% in the opening 10 laps, especially with the heavy fuel, as one mistake can give you front wing, and the last thing you need is getting maybe a little bit of diffuser damage or side pod damage from a bit of a mistake. So we were lucky last night that we only saw one safety car right towards the end. So hopefully we do have all 20 guys get through at least first sector with no damage. But who's your pick for tonight, Gordo? Are we thinking pole and the victory just like you last night?
No, you know what? I'm going to go for a complete oddball here. I'm going to say Mercy for the win tonight.
It's definitely going to be interesting, and lining up in P3. Obviously, a reminder that there is no formation lap, so when we see the grid for the first time, it will be lights out. So the guys just making a few adjustments to their strategy if they are. A bit of fuel. How much fuel did you sort of burn? Is this a fuel burn heavy track, or wasn't too bad for you?
It wasn't too bad with fuel wise last night, but everyone to their own really, if you come to think about it.
Yeah, exactly right. As we do have the 5 red lights on now, Ken Gordo lead us away. We are lights out and underway, and one of the Mercs hasn't got off the line. Yeah, so that's given damage, and we've got Carbon Fibre at the back, but Gordo leads us away from Mercy, who's back in the car. Battle car up into P3, Sam, Greedo, Marty, and Kaio. So, Bompton, unfortunately, not sure if he hasn't realised formation lap's not on, but he's back down in P20, and wouldn't surprise me if he's got any rear wing damage, as we've lost Elaine Sander from the back as well as Medi.
Well, we've lost 3 drivers.
Yeah, so someone's had an issue. And I think we are under VSC because we got the full track map. No, safety car.
Look at Blue Dog and look at all the debris on the track there.
Yeah, plenty of carnage. I commentated a race last night that we lost 4 drivers in the first 3 corners at Brazil, and those races that I'm commentating, another 3 drivers in the first. Turn 5, I believe. But yeah, obviously big issue at the back. Bompton, he is there. Be interesting to see if he's got any rear wing damage. And I think it was Parallel Aussie that was 4th on the grid. So it'll be interesting to see if he has front wing damage, being that he was the car that pretty much went up straight up the back of the Mercedes.
Yeah, he does have some damage there to the wing. He has no left side plate on his wing. I just saw that. So he's going to have to come in and box, but probably it's unlucky for the 3 drivers that have crashed, but at least it will get all the guys that did pick up damage on that on that start, I should say. Oh, and Paralozzi nearly didn't pull it up at the last corner, so I imagine he would be one of the guys that will come in. As I think we've got Tetris in as well. He's missing the left part of his end plate as well. And Shadow's in.
Yeah, Shadow
He's got no wing completely.
Yeah, he got caught up in
that. Blue Dog's got no wing either as he comes in.
Yeah, those 2 boys got caught up in the whatever incident happened at turn 3 or 4. So it'd be interesting to see what actually happened. But they're 3 big losses, Medi, Nato Bien, and Elaine Sander. They were going to be competitive in this race and fighting it out for definitely spots in the top 10. As Shadow and Blue Dog get their front wing changed. So as we sort of calm down a little bit, let's look at, you can see the strategy on board, the mediums for between 12 and 16, and then hards the rest of the way, or a double medium, then hard stint. As we have a look, as Mercy just sort of getting the red arrow, but as you can see, Gordo on the medium tyres, Mercy on the soft tyres, Battlecat on the hard tyres. So top 3 have got completely different strategies in their head.
Yeah. have a look at position changes off this line there. Mercy's up 1. Mert's our biggest gainer. He started right at the back after a quali, but he's up 11 off the start there. He's sitting in P9 at the moment. So that's a good start there for the Haas driver. He's gained a few places at the start there, and he's now sitting pretty under the safety car.
Yeah, so he obviously avoided a lot of the carnage. Obviously, with Bompton not getting off the line at the start, obviously it slowed up a lot of guys. So if he managed to pick a side and got through cleanly, there was a lot of spots to be made up because Woofer as well, and Ads as well. All three of those boys made up a lot of ground on the field. But tyres, as you can see, all three compounds are being used. Woofer on the soft. Tetris is coming for the soft tyres, so he's probably going to go a few laps on them and then probably come in for a set of hards. He doesn't feel like the hards could get to the end, as Blue Dog might be attempting to try. But interesting call from Mercy. I've seen this from him lately, that he's gone the softest tyre to be a little bit aggressive. He has made moves off the start. Obviously, it does help that Bompton didn't get off the line. But position changes are on your screen, as you were saying earlier, Powers. Mercy up 1, Battle Cut up 2, Sam up 3, Greto up 4, and then the big winners in the midfield. Mertz up 11 from the back of the field. So pretty much, if you had a quality band, you wouldn't have had a clue. You'd been up 11 spots in 4 corners.
Yeah. Just to answer Skitz's question in the chat there, there was 3/10 between pole and P2 in quality there, Skitz. So Gordo took pole, and 3/10 back was Bompton, I believe.
Yeah, it was Bompton, which you wouldn't know because he's down in P13. So yeah. It'd be interesting to find out what Bompton did. Did he think that that there was meant to be a formation lap, or did he think the session was the break was going a little bit longer and he's had a toilet break or a drink break and just missed the start completely? But
I would say it's formation lap, because it did look like he was revving his car as it went when it went green then, but it just didn't go anywhere.
It's interesting because I know all leagues at the moment are just not running formation lap because obviously the glitch that we do have with the guys getting disqualified. So I think a lot of these boys should now know that it's formation lap out of the way, but that's probably the worst sort of non-start that I've seen, at least lately, without the formation on, that he just didn't get off the line. So we might find out that a little bit later on from Bompton, but safety car should be in at the end of this lap, hopefully, so we can get some racing under our belts.
You would think so, so we'll see, because we haven't had a full lap of racing at all yet. Did we even get through one sector? I think we got just past one sector before the safety car came out.
No, we didn't, because end of sector 1 is at the end of turn 12.
That's straight, yeah.
Yeah, so, didn't even get that far, but we are underway. I'll get on Gordo. So, we'll see if he goes out of the corner or if he's going to just hold off a little bit. I'll get that on. He hasn't completely gone yet. Got to let the safety car get underway. Oh, and that's an accident of Greedo. He's trying to be aggressive, and this hasn't been the start, and then we've got a big crash. Sam's been put into the wall. Oh, and then the guy's just unfortunately not missing as we got Paralozzi out as well. Come on, guys. You see it, yellow flags are out. The car down the straight, and car's just driving completely in there as we got the safety car coming out once again. This time with Sam and Paralozzi, both drivers that were very comfortably in the top 10. And we've lost 5, and we're under safety car. We didn't even get to turn 1. So, yeah, we had some good racing from Tier 3 only with the one safety car. Tier 2 has sort of gone backwards, unfortunately.
We've had 2. We're not even one sector of racing yet.
So yeah, that's
Mercy leads the race now.
Yeah, Mercy leads because Gordo. I don't know if Gordo just got held up by maybe his throttle was sort of going up and down, so he might have got held by the game because he was too close to the safety car. But he just had a terrible run when he actually went because Mercy and that had the better run on him, and. Yeah, just unfortunate.
It's the same thing as last night. In our safety car, Cowie was leading the pack, and he was going quite fast while the safety car was still on track. And then by the time we got out of the last corner, the safety car still wasn't even in the pit lane. So he's been forced to drop back a lot down the main straight. By the time the safety car was in, we were just about hitting the line, and carnage happened as well off there. But lucky for us, we couldn't have another safety car because there's only like 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I think this is just one track that you
Mercy's in. Mercy's coming in on those softs.
Yeah, he was probably going to be the one that does it. So he's probably not super happy that safety car came out straight away, but he feels like he's probably going to come in. Like the tyres would probably still be all right, but he's going to come in from the hards. But he's going to be right down. Actually, not right down the field because 4 people have followed him in. Greedo, Bompton, and Ads. Obviously, unfortunate for you, Sam, and especially you, Medi, as well. Sam, was it Cat that fed you in the wall? I don't know if I think I caught it just. I just didn't quite see the car that fed you into the wall, but definitely looked like you pretty much got put there. So, but yeah, obviously, really unfortunate for you because you were looking good. You avoided the carnage on the opening lap, and unfortunately didn't even get down to turn 1 on lap 4.
It looks like, with Sam in the chat, it seems like your little battle cat's taken out, Sam.
Yeah, I'm hoping not, but yeah, we'll have to obviously, once we start getting the footage in, yeah, we'll see how we go, but yeah, that was pretty bad. So we'll see. I'm just going to keep it on the Discord, but Gordo obviously retakes the lead after having a pretty miserable restart, but he's gotten the lead back. Battlecat up into P3, Marty finds himself in P3, and Kai's up into P4. A guy that had no confidence coming into this one. I know we still got 20 laps left to go, but Kai's up in P4. And as I said to him as a TP, you just need to stay out of trouble for the first half of this race, and then you can sort of work into it. As Gordo's pedals disconnected, so that's why he might have had the poor restart. It did look a little bit weird the way that he was sort of accelerating down that main straight, at least at the start coming out of the last corner, and that could have been why.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, I can understand Sam and Medi wanting to red flag. Just sort of that race. You put effort in, and you haven't even gone 10% of the race distance. So, yeah, unfortunate for the guys as we cross the line to start lap 6 under our second safety car. We've done about, I think, 5 corners of racing in the opening 5 laps. So hopefully we can get a bit of consistency and some green flag running. We've lost 5, so everybody's scoring points if they finish this race at this point in time.
Yeah, we'll see what happens off this restart, shall we?
Yeah, exactly right. So, Gordo, who finished in P9 last week. Battlecat finished at P4, Marty P2. So, with Izzo not racing, could definitely going to see a new winner. Hopefully we see a few new boys on the podium as well. But great movers. Mertz is up to P6 again. And as I have a quick look at the tyres, actually the pit stops actually. So you can see on screen the top 8 have yet to stop 5.5 laps in. And the current tyres, excluding Tetris and Shadow, they've all jumped onto the hard compounder tyres and going to see if they can get it to the end of the race. But with the amount of safety cars we've sort of had in the opening laps, wouldn't surprise me if we get another one down the line and they come in for a newer set of tyres. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what strategy they opt for here.
Yep. No penalties, only because we haven't actually gotten far enough into the race to be able to cut any track limits. So we are clear of that. Safety car is in this lap, so if it is a pedal issue, hopefully he's got them sorted, Gordo, and we can get back underway and hopefully a lot cleaner start or restart. Let's
see what happens here on the restart this time out, eh?
Yeah, hopefully a little bit cleaner as the safety car coming through the final corner. Gordo gap's still a little bit too close. But he's got full traction. He slows down. He's got to be careful. That's a bit of a no-no that he went full throttle through there. You've got to maintain your speed, so Gordon might be a little bit of trouble, and that's sort of thrown the rest of the field in chaos as we're back under green, as we've got the Ferrari of Marty going around the outside of the Battle Cat. I think Battle Cat sort of passed him as we've got a yellow flag, and we've lost Mercy, so he's had an issue at the back, and he's got no front wing.
McLaren is not having the weekend in Saudi for any tier.
No, exactly right. Gredo down to P10. He's got Woofer in front of him as... Who's that? That was Woofer going super wide and unfortunately losing a lot of spots. So it's a little bit of mayhem down at the back. Oh, and someone nearly got fed. Another Williams nearly got fed into the wall. Blue Dog. So just got to settle down, boys. We've still got 18 laps left of this race left to go. And it is chaos at the back. So, but there's plenty of battles throughout as we've got Mertz and Broseph going side by side. Coming through the DRS straight, obviously that's not activated yet for another 2 laps. As Mertz is looking really quick at the moment on his medium tyres. Broseph just trying to get those hards back up to working range. And Harass as well, he's looking really good on those mediums, same as Tetris on the softs. As Tetris is closing into the back of the Mercedes, not quite close enough.
Sorry, Ads is just right on the back of Shadow as well. He went for a move down the outside there, but just didn't make it stick.
Yeah,
he's on his hard tyres. He's starting to reel in and chase down Shadow here lap by lap.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anyone other than Mercy has to come in for a new front wing. We do. Wolf has got front wing damage and picks up a 5-second time penalty. Bompton is in for front wing, and then Mercy's in as well. So we've had 3 more cars involved on that restart. So Gordo, he leads us away, but he'll definitely be investigated for that restart because, yeah, he had full throttle for a long time and then he broke. So Battle Cat went past him. So Gordo might want to get a bit of a lead here, and he's pushing on 1.4 seconds compared to, or the gap to Marty and the Battle Cat. Marty looking very quick and wanting to get past the Battle Cat on his hard compounded tyres. As we've got Greedo as well, right behind Tetris. Had a nice run. Oh, and I think...
Oh, Shadow's tapped the wall there, sorry.
Yeah, and I think...
Nicked the wall.
Yeah, and I think Harass tapped the wall as well, or he had a big moment. Looks like he's got both end plates, but he's dropped 2 spots because of that poor exit out of turn 17. So he's back down into P9.
Going for a move on at Broseph as well.
Yeah, so...
Down the outside into turn 27 goes Myrtle for P5. Is he going to get the job done? Down the outside. Who's going to have the better exit here between these two?
I'd watch Tetris because he's going to probably have the better run.
Tetris and Gritto both have a good run down into turn 1. And Gritto gets... Oh, Tetris late on the brakes there. It almost goes in the back of Myrtle there. That is wild stuff there as Gritto's back down the inside of Tetris now as well. And Gritto gets the job done. He's up into P7 now as well. Myrtle also up into P5 as he gets the job done on Broseph.
Yeah, that was great side-by-side racing from all 4 of those boys. No contact and all 4 still facing the right way as Greedo right on the back of Broseph. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide, so wouldn't be surprised if he picked up a warning there. Didn't sort of gain an advantage from it, but yeah, definitely went a little bit wide. Broseph having a bit of a poor exit out of 13. Broseph, he's still got the inside line for this coming corner.
He's
and
had to back out of that.
Yeah, that got really close. If Broseph didn't back out of that, I was fearing that we're going to have another accident at that particular corner. As we make our way with DRS now activated. And Greedo...
Oh, Greedo's had an absolute terrible run through there, and Brosef's got the DRS.
Yeah, Greedo still
gets... better exit.
Yeah, Greedo, he's got to be a little bit careful about moving more than once. He's got to pick his line. As we round the final corner. Can Broseph get a bit of a switchback? No, Broseph had to sort of back out of it, otherwise he was going into the wall. Tetris not quite getting the move done as we got harassed into the wall, so he definitely picked up wing damage at some point. And all these guys are Still single file at the moment, but some good battling in this midfield. Gordo has a 2.5 second lead over Marty B. Battle Cat 6-7 tenths behind now. So medium is still working quite nicely, considering that we've sort of had half this race so far under yellow flags. And that was...
Griddo's gone very, very wide. He's hit the curb. And he's come back on right in front of Broseph there.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unsafe...
That's a very dangerous, unsafe race.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, Stewards, if they weren't busy enough, might be a little bit more busy because, yeah, Broseph had to take avoiding action, I reckon, because he'd not really a great spot to rejoin there, unfortunately. So, yeah, not a great rejoin there, but Broseph, he's got Tetris right on the back of him as well. So, Broseph and Gredo obviously going long. Gredo, remember, has already made his compulsory pit stop, so he doesn't actually have to stop again.
Yes, correct.
But his hards are probably not going to be the best, as he will get down. Oh, that was a big wiggle from there. I don't know if that was lag, but he definitely had a moment. As is Broseph closing in, not quite. So not sure if that was my end or not, but it looked like he had a big tank slapper through there as we round the final corner. But I'm going to go back up to Marty and the Battle Cat still fighting. And Battle Cat gets the move back, so up into P2, Marty back down to P3. And Kai's doing a good job to hang in there. He's only 1.7 seconds down.
Oh, but Marty, straight back on him.
Oh, yes, so, I don't know, Battle Cat had a bit of a moment, but great move from Marty back up into P2. So, Marty's been definitely been putting the moves on so far this season. And, yeah, great pickup from Broseph. Obviously, that's a really good pairing. Broseph down in P7. Marty on the podium at the moment. Bompton showing his pace on a brand new set of medium tyres. But unfortunately, he's down in 12th as Gredo gets past Mertz down the inside of the hairpin. As Gredo, thought he had a bit of a moment, but he gets past Mertz. So up into P5.
I've got insider source of a Williams point of view of an incident earlier on. Looks like Cat has put him into a wall, so Cat's going to want to probably pull something here to try and pull gaps on people. Yeah. In the case of that penalty.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. We thought Sam was saying it was the Battle Cat, and unfortunately, it seems like that is who it was, as Mertz now fights back on Gredo. Coming down to the final corner, and Tetris as well in the background.
Oh, Mertz around.
Yeah, Gredo's punted him and has caused an absolute carnage there. And we're going to be under a safety car for the second time.
Third
time. I'm losing track of these safety cars. And yeah, that was that move was not on, unfortunately. And it's sort of stuffed up Broseph and Tetris's race.
Like, not so much Tetris, he's up in a P5.
Actually, no, sorry, Tetris got around that. It was Broseph that's going to have to change his front wing. There was definitely some front wing.
And definitely Myrtle as well, I think. Oh.
Yeah, Mertz as well. He's not going to be happy with that touch as well. We got the move down the inside, but Gredo just touching the rear car. So Gredo's got to be out of this race, but I feel like there may be a few penalty points or license points coming his way, unfortunately. After what we've seen the last couple of laps.
This is the cleanest race so far, I might add. This racecraft from some of these boys may need to be improved by Australia next week. Because, we've got 6 DNFs already. We had 5 before we even had a single racing lap happen.
Yeah, exactly right. I think we said Izzo couldn't actually make this race. He's probably picked a good race to miss, actually. But we did say Bahrain, obviously, a more open circuit, and this one's pretty much a street circuit that you don't really have any room to manoeuvre if you do have a mistake. And unfortunately, we've sort of seen that, and we've seen weird mistakes in terms of side-to-side contact and just... Yeah, not exactly the best racecraft, which obviously we know these T2 boys can do a lot better, but unfortunately, it just hasn't been too great. But we've got 14 drivers still left, and we can still see some great racing ahead. All the drivers have pretty much making their pit stops now, as the top 4 have come in. So Gordo comes in, Marty comes in onto the hard tyres, Battle Cat on the medium tyres. So it's not a bad strategy, actually, because those mediums were looking good on the other cars. Again, obviously safety car laps were included in that, but they were still looking fairly decent. So Red Bull in 3 and 4. I'm just going to point that out, being the Red Bull TP. Obviously, for you, Powers, Blue Dog currently running in P9. But we also got to remember just a little thing with Blue Dog as well. He's got a 5-second time penalty to be added to his race due to.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
What are we
What
watching?
happened there? Kaio's just come out of the pit. I believe Myrtle was ahead of him, and Kaio pushed his way past him. And now Kaio's up in a P5, and there was a bit of contact coming out of pit lane between the two.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Sort of missed it as Greta leads the session. Yeah, not exactly sure what happened there. Obviously, not a great situation to have. Obviously, we know sort of how unique that pit lane is coming out of turn 2. That you can go side by side, so it depends on who had the right of way. But it looks like Kai's got front wing, Mertz has got front wing. Yeah, Sam, I can definitely understand. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you're sending that message through. Yeah, Housey as well. Yeah, I can definitely understand sort of DNFs. I think part of it is game, but yeah, a lot of DNFs and a lot of safety cars through a lot of the leagues that I've sort of commentated and stuff. As we say that, we're joined by Gordo. Gordo sort of, except for maybe safety car restarts, he's sort of missed a lot of this action so far. Gordo, currently running in P1 at the moment. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I just wanted to jump in here to let you guys know that it's happened on the first 2 restarts, but I've accelerated out of the final corner, and then just as I'm about to cross the start-finish line, it just cuts all my throttle. I've almost been rear-ended by Battle Cat and Mercy because of that. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, because I think we saw on the last safety car restart that we thought you actually accelerated, but then stopped on your own accord and then went again. So, but obviously your throttle's been cut. That's why.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's my pedals or if it's the game.
All right, all right. Before you leave, quick tip: go really slow just before the final corner. Keep constant pace, but when the safety car comes in, just slow it down a little bit more. So when the safety car is actually in pit lane, I think that's your issue. You're just going a little bit too early, and the safety car's not quite in because that pit lane entry is quite a long way down the front straight. So you think it's in, but it's still got to get past that kink and then across the line. So just go a little bit slower, just before the final corner, and you should be right.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good last 10 laps. So as race leader joins us, and he'll hop out and continue on his race. So we sort of know why he had the acceleration issues. So he'll be able to sort of prove if there are any inquiries into that. So at least we now know the reason why. But yeah, just got to back off just a little bit, let the safety car get a little bit more ahead of him, and then that should solve his problem.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, how's his agreement with me? Yeah, that's just sort of one thing. And Saudi's always sort of been known for that. That just the way that you're carrying a lot of speed down this down that last straight before the last corner, that it can always be an issue. So, yeah, obviously we'll see how he goes. Obviously, safety car will be in at the end of this lap. So we'll see how he goes. I'll be on board with him as the safety car do.
Let's see what Gordo does this time.
So 11 laps to go. Do you feel like Gordo can hold on?
I mean, he's looked very strong the entire race. He's had the 3rd safety car now. He's still held the lead. I mean, I'm going to say it from here with still about 11 laps to go. I'm going to say it's his race to lose at this point, really, with how much pace he's had this entire race.
Exactly right, as I'm on board.
And he's off.
Yeah, that was a better restart from him. Green flag, we are underway, and he actually got a nice gap from Marty B coming into turn 1. As we do have a couple of moves at the back. And all single file. We've nearly got 3 wide at the back. Yeah, so Mercy on the new tyres had the better run through the final corner. So Mercy up into P12, Shadow and Wolf falling out the back. Still got 14 running. Gordo leads us away. Marty and Battlecat and Tetris, remember, are on the medium compounder tyres, so they will go to the end and have a little bit of a pace advantage, at least for the next, I'd say, 5 or so laps compared to the hard runners. As we've lost
Ads
Ads.
is out. That's not a safety car.
Ah, bloody hell. Alright,
God damn it.
safety car number 4, ladies and gentlemen. So,
when does this end?
not sure. Yeah, Ads, I think that was self-inflicted, I'm assuming. Just not.
I believe.
Yeah, card sort of disappeared, so I'm not 100% sure where he lost that.
And Gordo restarts us on a 4 safety car.
Yeah, Housey, I think if you're not an eager driver, I don't think you should be driving, apparently. But yeah, there's eager, but then there's a little bit too eager.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately we've seen tonight, but safety car back out. I'd imagine we won't see anybody come into pit, because with the issues that we've seen so far, I think if you Gordo and Marty, you just want the clear track ahead. You don't really want to be involved in the traffic as we've seen tonight. So I'd imagine Gordo won't come in, Marty won't come in.
Everyone's on fresh tyres as well, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Bompton may be the only one that may come in for a new set of soft tyres.
No, he stays out.
Yeah, he was trying to throw the dummy, but he's got to be a little bit careful not to hold up the grid too much. And everyone did stay out. Harass has actually come in, so he's only going to lose a couple of spots, but he's going to chuck on the set of soft tyres and see how he goes.
Good thing so. Yeah, they do.
10 laps, safety car will be in at the end of the next lap, so you'll have 8 laps of racing. So, good call from...
Question is, do those softs last 8 laps?
I think they should. The softs are lasting a little bit longer. Just the wear is sort of more consistent over time. That you do notice the wear a little bit earlier, but it's still an alright tyre. A race tyre. They might be a little bit dead at the end of with a couple of laps left to go, but if you can make moves early, yeah, we'll have to see how we go. Obviously, 13 drivers left, so again, the more drivers we lose, the more points every other finisher will get. Position changes. Everyone is up a position who is left in this race, except for Bompton and Mercy, who were P2 and P3 at the start of this race, so... I think a top 10 finish from those two boys. I think they probably will take it after the shocking start, first half of this race that they've had. Not sure why Mertz was going so slow, but he's caught up to the field now. As we can have a look at the stops there. Everyone's made one stop except for Tetris, Blue Dog, and then a lot of 3 stops from Bompton, Mercy, Shadow, and Harass. And I'm pretty sure most of them have been for damage. No one's picked up penalties, but again, I don't think we've gone racing enough to actually see track limits penalties. We've seen a few go wide, and maybe a few unsafe rejoins, but yeah, it's an interesting race so far.
Yeah, we haven't got another safety car's going to stay out another lap here, so this is going to be interesting now, because last night I think we had a safety car the safety car came out around this point right now, and by the time everyone gathered in, there was 3 laps of racing left, but it was lucky for me in the end, because I came out P3 after stopping for a new fresh set of softs, and then 2 hard runners in front of me. Got past them on the opening lap of the restart, and just basically from there just brought it home. So let's see what Gordo and Marty and Cat can do here, and see who's going to prevail here. Battlecat and Tetris on the fresher tyres, but we all know the mediums don't mean anything when those hards start to come into their window and start to come into play.
Yeah, exactly right. And just remember that we have seen all 4. We should see all 4 safety cars being used. So we shouldn't get another safety car, but we have had races known that it decides to chuck out a 5th safety car. So I wouldn't say that we're completely clear of under the Aston Martin safety car, but yeah, I wouldn't completely write it off just yet. But Gordo, he leads away, so he's gonna have plenty of practice going from a safety car restart at Jeddah. Let's just say that.
You say that we've had our fourth safety car. Another accident will happen, and they'll decide to bring out a red flag instead.
Yeah, actually, that's true too. No, if they were going to throw a red flag, surely the incident at the start, they would have thrown that, surely.
Yeah, you think so.
You would have thought, so... But not sure if we've even got the red flags actually on, but...
I just had a look, that's on reduced.
Yep. So, safety car is in. So, Gordo got the restart nailed perfectly last time out, so we'll see how he goes this time. Just got to keep that speed consistent.
I think it's going to be the same as last time. He's learnt to back it off a little bit, keep that consistent pace, and let that safety car actually come into the pit lane before getting going.
Yeah, exactly right. So we're
7 laps of racing left here.
Yeah, exactly right. We're probably close to the 2-hour mark. I feel like we've been under safety car forever, but we're back underway. Gordo again, he got it all right, but Marty B and Battle Cat as well. They stayed closer to him this time by. We've got Kaio defending the inside from Mertz. As Mertz on the hard commenter tyres, Kaio around the outside will hold his position. So both Red Bulls into the top 5, both Ferraris both in the top 8. So we've lost both Astons, unfortunately, both Alpines. So some big points winners at the moment, some big points losers. So Gordo got the jump. Kaio, he was actually in trouble at turn 1, but he's right on the back of Tetris. Had a bit of a poor run through turn 13 as we've got Broseph getting pretty much mauled by the guys on the soft tyre of Bompton. So
Broseph... Kaio's just completely cut the track there. That's definitely a track warning.
Yeah, got to be a little bit careful that you don't cut the track. Not only get a warning, or as we got a nice aerial shot of a Merc and a Williams. Surely the Mercedes doesn't throw it, but he does give the Haas a hit of Mertz Bompton. And this is not going to be good as we got the Williams hitting the wall. So surely he's picked up damage, Blue Dog.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, whether he just got off put from the guys in front, but unfortunately he's got damage to his front wing, so he's going to have to come in. But he's got to be a little bit careful to try and get to the line. He does safely. So Broseph moves up into P9. Mercy moves up a position as well. So, yeah, that was sort of a bit of a bump and run from Bompton. Gave Mertz just a little bit of a hit out of turn 22 and sort of was able to get the position pass, so that might be reportable as well. So I feel really sorry for the Tier 2 stewards that are going to have their work cut out at the moment. But Gordo is doing what he needs to do up front, but he hasn't dropped the 2 behind him just yet. But Battlecat had a moment through this particular set of corners, so Tetris right on the back. Tetris trying to go for a Tier 2 podium, and he's not too far away from it. But Battlecat gets a better run through the hairpin.
It's getting very interesting now. There's a few cars up
and
there.
Sorry, Bompton just runs into the back of Kaio now. So he's running to the back of 2 cars in the space of the last lap. So he's got to be careful as we've got Blue Dog having an issue at the back. I think he's had a bit of a spin coming through 12 as Kaio goes a little bit wide. This is going to hurt as Bompton. That was a little bit... I don't know how Mercy got away with that, but then Shadow... Didn't see the yellow flags. He wasn't paying attention. We've lost another 2, but again, we've used all 4 safety cars, so we are back green flag running.
You'd think there'd be a VSC, right?
No, honestly, that was I know Kaio had a poor exit, but that was a little bit impatient from Bompton. I know he was trying to get the advantage, but through that particular corner, there wasn't a gap there. So, obviously, a little bit of bias because Kaio's one of my drivers, but I still think Bompton should have just been a little bit more patient. He probably would have had the better run with DRS anyway, so unfortunately we're down to 11 drivers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is poor driving from these boys.
Yeah,
down to 11 drivers.
Yeah, Yeah, unfortunately, not the greatest. At least everyone from I'd say that, but the Battle Cat's probably got an issue that he's got to worry about himself. But at least the top two, Gordo and Marty, have been decent, except for Gordo. You say Gordo's restarts with the going a little bit too early, so I don't think there's any driver I can say has been good. But Mercy getting the move done on Kaya on the medium tyres even before they hit the DRS line, so Kaya will just slip back in. So Mercy, from absolutely nowhere, Mercy's up into P5.
Yeah, and he's still going.
There's a lot of... Sorry, I was just going to say, honestly, Mercy's probably a little bit lucky that he's still going, because he nearly hit the back of Bompton as well, as the Battle Cat gets past Marty B for P2. So, Battle Cat up into P2. Marty's dropped back into P3, but the way Mercy's coming, Mercy's still right in the punt for a podium.
Yeah. I mean, Marty B, he seemed very surprised to be on the podium last week. He's looking to be very consistent here. He's looking to be back on the podium again this week as well. So, I mean, it's consistency that is key, really, and it's consistency that everyone looks in, and consistent podiums is definitely something all TPs and love to see.
Yeah, exactly right. I will state here and now, that the results will be provisional.
Yeah.
So we won't have the final answer for another couple of days, but yeah, we'll just have to see how we go. And as I said, always Tetris having to defend the inside line from Mercy, and Mercy gets the job done on the 7-lap old medium tyre, so he's only one place off the podiums, and he's got 2.5 seconds to chase down Marty B, which, with the pace he's going, we've still got 5 laps left to go, 4.5 laps left to go, so I think it's more than possible to be able to close that.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers, Mercy especially, he's needing to really push now with 4 laps to go as they come to the line now, to chase down that 2.6 second gap to Marty B. But Marty B's been looking rapid on these hard tyres, so it's going to be a very hard feat, a very hard job for Mercy to chase down Marty B, but we'll see if he can get it done. Marty B's looking, as we say that, looking on the back of Battle Cat into turn 1, and he's down the inside, just flies past him like Battle Cat standing still there.
Yeah, exactly right, and Mercy had to cover off Tetris as well. I thought we were going to see 2 moves into turn 1 there, but not quite, so Marty B takes the lead, and we do know that if these two battle quite hard, Mercy, and he'll drag along Tetris and Kaya as well for this battle for P3 as well, so they've just got to be a little bit careful that they don't bring these other guys back into it. Gap down to 4.5 between Battle Cat and Marty. Battle Cat just not having the best run through the first sector, so Marty B's got that gap up to 0.8 already, so if we can get a nice clean line through 16, 17, it'd be very close to breaking DRS, as Battle Cat actually took that nicely enough, so he will get DRS down this straight, as Kyo, unfortunately, he's the first driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty, so he'll sort of be out of this hunt for P3s. Mercy's closed in a second on this particular lap already, so he's flying in that McLaren. As Gordo, 2.1 second lead. Now the Battle Cat with DRS. Will he go for the run here? He won't. He'll wait and try and send it down at turn 1.
But Marty has a very good exit there. Has Marty got a big enough gap on the Battle Cat here?
No, he won't. Doesn't look like it.
No, he does.
He does.
Battle Cat backs out of that.
Yeah, probably a smart play as Broseph gets past Mertz. So Broseph into P7. So Ferrari looking good to score 2 top 7s once again. But the Battle Cat not quite getting it done. Mercy 1.7 now.
Gordo's got a 2-second lead here as well, so Gordo's looking very comfortable at the front there, so he's just going to have to bring it home really from here with 3 laps, about 2.5 laps to go. He's just going to bring it home.
Yeah, exactly right. And Battle Cat, he's holding his own here in the first sector, and a little bit closer than he was the previous lap. Marty just had a little bit of a wiggle off the exit. so won't hurt his speed too much, but DRS from Battle Cat. As we round 22 and 23. DRS now activated. And he's going to go for the move.
Yeah, it's right there.
And gets it done, but he's got to be a little bit careful because Marty can easily get the position back, but at least Battle Cat was able to take the racing line into the final corner.
Yeah. I think Marty's too far back to get Battle Cat into turn 1 here.
Yep. As you can see, the Red Bull in front flashing.
Yeah, but these two boys have worked very well together now. They've chased 5/10 off Gordo. It's now only 1.5 seconds to Gordo now, so still all to play for here for these three boys.
Exactly right. And Tetris and Kaio fighting for P5. Obviously, Kaio with that 3-second time penalty, but again, even if he does lose a couple of positions from it, it's still going to be a good top 10 because Blue Dog is nearly a minute behind. So he doesn't have to do anything too stupid. He does go a little bit wide there, so that will probably be another warning. But again, if Kaio can finish, say, 8th or 9th, again, great effort from him. Obviously, still getting comfortable with his wheel.
Well, if Kaio can pull 6/10 on Bros, or 7/10 on Broseph in these next 2 laps, then he will stay P6, but other than that, he only fall to P7 as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. And he'll have DRS help, which will help him drag him along. But if he starts fighting with Tetris too much, he will lose that P6. As we can see, Marty B with just over a lap left to go. It's about 7/10 behind, so... And we sort of do know that Battle Cat may have to get a bit of a gap because he may have a penalty incoming.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kaio, I just saw in the background, he's had a moment.
Yeah, he has.
We just saw it at the back. He's going to keep going for the final lap because only 1 racing lap left to go. He just needs to bring it home because it's still good points in P7 at the moment. He'll probably drop to P9. It's still good points. He just needs to bring it home. As we are on to the final lap now. Battle for P2 still rightly on. Mercy sort of faded, so he's dropped that speed. Not sure if he's had a mistake or if those mediums are just starting to struggle, but he's the youngest tyres of the top 6, so... But not quite hanging in there. You can see him just in the background as Mertz gets past Kaio. Kaio would have just let him through as he goes a little bit wide. That would be another warning. But again, all he has to do is to finish.
Yeah.
Marty.
I think Myrtle's going to have to be our driver of the day today. He's up 13 places from 20th with a quality band. He's sitting in P6 at the moment. He's had a phenomenal race here.
Yeah, exactly
avoiding
right.
all the carnage that's happened around him and just managed to get through unscathed and in one piece.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was like P9 at like the first corner. After the first safety car, but he's done well to hold off. As Battle Cat, I don't think we're close enough, so we'll switch on to our race leader, Gordo, coming through the final corner. He's pretty much led the entire way. He's kept out of a lot of the nonsense in this race, and Gordo will pick up the victory for Haas. Battle Cat holds on to P2. Marty in P3. Mercy just crosses the line in P4. Tetris, great job from the Tier 3 reserve in P5. Broseph, another good points haul for Ferrari in P6. Mertz, as I said, pretty much driver of the day, 20th to 7th. Haras in P8. Kaio will bring it home in P9 without a front wing. But Woofer wasn't quite close enough, so Kaio will keep P9. Woofer, great job from him. He managed to finish in P10. And then Blue Dog is about a minute behind, but probably not the race he wants. But again, he's placed 11th, and he's picking up actually a decent all the points for a P11.
Yeah.
As I have a quick cheeky look at the points, because I want to know exactly how many points he's got.
I believe that's 5, I believe. 11.
Yeah, he's picked up 5 points from a race that he sort of was by himself. Yeah, that's still good points for Williams, considering that Sam, considering that he had his accident early on. But yeah, Gordo, as I said, he pretty much did nothing wrong. Obviously, the safety car issues he got sorted under those last 2 restarts. But yeah, definitely a lot to talk about in that race. Mertz will pick up the game's driver of the day and probably our driver of the day as well.
Yeah.
But a little bit a little bit of different racing compared to what we had last night. So I wouldn't be surprised if the entire Tier 2 got a little bit of a talking to. But there's your winner. It is Haas and it is Gordo. So the TP does it for his team, and he picks up the winner's trophy.
Don't forget to scroll through those results for Cat, mate.
Yeah, I will. Obviously, he's racing, so he'll get the results as well. But as we see on the podium, great job from the Haas team as well. Marty B as well. Great effort. Second podium in a row. And then the Battle Cat, he just missed out on P3 last week. He finds himself on the podium. And we look at the results, and I must stress, these are provisional. Gordo, he takes the win. Battle Cat in P2. Marty B, P3. Mercy, after pretty much being back earlier on in this race, he manages to come back with the fastest lap to finish P4. Tetris, great effort from him, P5. Broseph, Mertz, Haas, Kyo, Woofer, and Blue Dog are your finishers. And as we scroll down to see those 3 letters with a lot of drivers, Bompton, Shadow, Ads, Greedo, Paralozzi, Sam, Medi, Nataban, and Elaine Santa, all your non-finishers. So there's going to be a fair few unhappy boys, but I still think the top 3 will be happy. But again, we'll just see what the stewards will be looking at. And fortunately for me, because I'm a TP, I can't be a steward, so I've sort of avoided all this mess. So at least that's good in one way.
100% is.
So as we get the guys in, so it was definitely a race. We had some good battling though in that. And let's not say that good battle with the 2 of the boys that are on the podium today. And we have got all 3 in the party chat now. So I'm going to start with our P3 driver, and he's actually one of my drivers, Battle Cat. Just missed out last week. But
P2, I'm P2.
Provisional.
Provisional
P2.
I'll drop to probably P10 or something like that. But now I'll take the P2.
Sorry, we did see that move late. So sorry, I'll go to P3. Marty, I think he got P3. Sorry,
Marty B.
Second week in a row. Fantastic result from you. You kept it out front. You had a nice battle with Battle Cat, but great pace from you as well. Second week in a row.
Yeah, mate, look, to be honest, I knew I had some pace around here. Just unfortunate with the safety cars. I would have liked to go probably a different tyre strategy had I known that was going to happen. But good battle with the Battle Cat. And I don't know whether I could have done much better than that. The hards, they just didn't have the pace, and Gordo's too quick. So, of course, Cat on the fresh meds. The safety cars sort of seemed to help save the life of those meds. But, good strat. Nice clean race out the front. It's nice to be up with the big boys. Second podium in a row. So, mate, I'm happy.
Yeah, and another good result from you and Broseph too. Another top, I think you got P7 or P8 in the end. So Ferrari doing well in Tier 2 this season.
Yeah, man. Good points for the team, eh? Shout out to Broseph, shout out to the team, shout out to everybody, all the old school Alpha Tauri boys. Shout out to Tetris even, if you're listening. You probably are. Top 5 for all the boys, and it's nice to see the Ferrari actually having a decent time. I know they patched the tyre glitch where Ferrari was degrading more than other cars, but it's, good speed, good pace. Let's try and carry it into next week.
Yeah, exactly right. And speaking of next week, Australia, sort of still that street circuit, a couple of spots where there are walls close. Feeling confident coming into Australia next week?
Oh, to be honest, mate, I'll just put the practice in during the week, and I guess we'll just see come race day. I'd like to say I've got the pace, but 2 podiums in a row, that's something a little bit outside the box for old Marty B. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully head towards that chip at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, big congrats to you on your second podium of the season.
Thanks, bro.
All right, Powers, do you want to take it through P2 with my driver, because I completely mucked up that intro?
Yeah, as you said, provisional P2 as of now until we see the stewards, but Battle Cat was a good race from you all round up until that restart, but talk us through it.
Yeah, I put a bit of practice in during the week. I keep saying I put full traction in this track because I absolutely hate it, but with full traction I like it. So yeah, doing all right. I heard in the Twitch, Gordo was saying something that his car was slowing down. So that first safety car restart really just caught me off. The car slowed down, and I ended up hitting Sam. I didn't even see him there. I was focusing on the cars in front of me, so I do apologise to Sam there. And then I think it happened again on the second safety car restart as well. So I don't know what happened there with Gordo when the restart. I think maybe he didn't let the safety car get a lead, and then it slowed him down. But yeah, that threw me off. But otherwise, the rest of the safety cars came out pretty much at the right time. The hards to meds I think were a good strategy. Had good pace on the hards, and then yeah, the meds were really nice at the end. So yeah, happy with that. But I think it's a short-lived P2. Sorry, yeah. Scotty.
I just want to hear your opinion and hear what happened between you and Sam there.
Yes. So I think it's my fault. Like I said, I was accelerating. The car in front of me slowed down, so I slowed down as well. Then I accelerated again. Then it looks like he slowed down again, so I tried to avoid him. And I didn't even realise Sam was on the right-hand side of me. So he must have got a much better start. So honestly, I was focusing on what was in front of me rather than behind me, and just didn't even know he was there. So that, yeah, like I said, I put my hand up for that. So I do apologise to Sam.
Anything for you to add there, Scotty?
No, I think that's obviously the two first safety cars. Obviously, with Gordo being held up, obviously there was sort of mayhem from second all the way down to like seventh. So not surprised that we sort of saw that happen. But yeah, great job from you. Obviously, you may drop a few positions, but still a good result. Showed some good speed, and obviously Australia next week. Do you reckon you can bring this form over?
Not my favourite track, Australia. So definitely need to do some practice. I think a bit like Marty. Let's do some laps and see how I feel.
Yeah, exactly right. But big congratulations on your podium at least at the moment, and we'll see you next week.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Come on.
All right, and P1, Gordo, other than the safety car restarts, which he fixed at the end with those last couple, sort of kept out of all the mayhem, and pretty much, I think you led nearly start to finish. Gordo, great job from you.
Yeah, thanks. I think it was a pretty good race to be out in front. Obviously, I had my teammate in comms with me, and he was just telling me about all the chaos that was going on behind. But yeah, a bit unfortunate about that safety car restart confusion. But yeah, anyway, other than that, not that much to comment on.
Yeah, I think we didn't see you a lot, but we knew you were out in front. And sort of safety cars, there wasn't really a strategy play really, because we had a safety car. It seemed like every couple of laps at the start there, but obviously pole position. So you definitely enjoyed Saudi. Is it just one of your better tracks, or you felt in the rhythm tonight?
Well, coming into this, I wasn't very confident. To be honest, I don't think I can remember the last time I finished a race at Saudi, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I think that first banker that I set was a bit of a fluke, and then I just got the confidence from then. I think it's a lot easier to focus at this track when you're out in the lead, not having to worry about a car up your ass. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, great job from you. Obviously, the win. P9 last week, probably I'd imagine you weren't quite happy with that. So obviously, you've sort of got your season underway now. How are you feeling? Obviously, Australia next week and coming further on into the season.
Yeah, well, Australia is a bit of a neutral track for me. I don't love it, don't hate it. I've had some good results there. Go. Just try and keep it out of the wall, keep away from any contact, and we should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Powers, anything for a race winner?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it all, but it's a good race from you overall, mate. Congrats on the win there. Well deserved.
Cheers.
Alright, and that's just about to wrap us up. 2 tiers down. Tier 1 left to go tomorrow afternoon. Myself will be racing in that one as well. Fingers crossed that I don't pick up damage on that one once again. But yeah, plenty of plenty of interesting action, let's say, tonight, and yeah, hopefully Tier 1 can just be just as exciting, maybe just in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. Definitely interesting to watch, and yeah, congrats on the top 3 powers. Obviously, probably still celebrating on your win last night. Big thank you for hopping in and joining me once again this Saturday afternoon.
No worries at all, mate. It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and it was a pleasure for everybody watching. We will see you same time tomorrow afternoon for Tier 1 at Inters Racing League for round 2 at Saudi Arabia. So until then, we'll see you next time.